Hello, everyone. You've reached Raven at Grown Folks Fitness. I wanted to talk today about the best diet in the world. So, there are millions, I don't actually know how many, but there are an enormous amount of diets out there. They all have catchy names, and they actually all work to a certain extent. If your goal is to lose weight temporarily, they actually all work. But at Grown Folks Fitness, we're not interested in temporary changes that last for maybe a few weeks and then have to be redone the following year. Not only is that hard on the body, it's really hard on the spirit because you feel as if you failed and you feel as if somehow maintaining a healthy weight is just some kind of mystery that you're just not skilled at, and that's not the case. So, in my opinion, the best diet in the world is one that you cultivate yourself, and basically it is one that you follow most of the time, eating mostly healthy foods for the rest of your life. Okay? So it's very simple. Mostly healthy foods most of the time for the rest of your life. That's it. If you do that, you will maintain a weight that is reasonable. Now, will you look like a fitness model? Maybe, maybe not. That really depends on a lot of factors. But you don't need to look like a fitness model. You need to be healthy for your kids, for your spouse, for your career, for your life. If you want to look like a fitness model, or if you are a fitness model, then your percentages need to be higher. So you need to, most of the time for you is going to be 90-95%. If you're an average person, 80% is great. If 80% of the time you're eating healthy food, you will maintain a reasonable weight. And it goes up from there. If 85% of the time you're eating healthy and only 15% of the time you're straying, you're doing better than 90% of the people out there, okay? 90% of the people out there are just eating whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, and then they're upset at the way they look and feel. So that doesn't have to be you, okay? So the best diet in the world, again, is one where you're eating healthy most of the time, mostly healthy foods for the rest of your life. Now, healthy is not some kind of magical, mystical things. There's no need to make a list of things that you cut out. You know what healthy is. Healthy means that it has more nutrients than it doesn't, okay? That the nutrient per calorie ratio is higher on the nutrients. So, for example, something like a, head of lettuce, romaine lettuce, okay, is low calories and it's mostly nutritious. So this is not rocket science. Everybody knows pretty much what healthy food is. Fruits and vegetables, lean meats, carbohydrates in moderation. Carbohydrates meaning breads and grains and rices. And those should be brown because the brown of the breads and the rice has all of the nutrients intact. So it's more a question of nutrients. The calories are actually roughly the same, but there's more nutrition and it's more filling to have the brown version. Okay, so if you're going to have breads and rices, just have the brown version. And the last piece is stop when you're mostly full. Okay, so when we're eating, there's a point where we are no longer hungry. We may not be full because full takes a little while to register, usually about 15-20 minutes. So, but there's a point where we're no longer hungry. That's when you pause and you either stop and save the rest, or you continue with your conversation if you're eating with other people. And then you'll find that you don't actually need the rest of it. So if you follow that plan, you will be at a reasonable weight. Now, a lot of that is intuitive. And if you have mostly been disciplined in your life, then your intuition will be reliable. If you are a junk food king or queen, then you may have lost your intuitive faculties when it comes to nutrition. So in that case, you are going to have to educate yourself about the basics of nutrition. And again, it doesn't have to be, rocket science. It's a simple book on the 4 food groups, quote unquote. Even though that's old school, that's good enough to get you to a reasonable diet. Watching YouTube videos is also fine if you're pressed for time, or you hire a coach and they talk to you and educate you about healthy eating. And that's actually probably the fastest way, because you're having your questions answered in real time. You're not having to do as much trial and error and experimentation because you're working with somebody who's experienced. So that's the recommended route. Obviously, if you don't have the time or finances for that, then you'll have to do it on your own and it'll take longer. But healthy eating is not complicated. It's not rocket science. It's very doable for everyone. And if you do have a medical challenge such as diabetes or heart disease, then you may need to be more careful. And your doctor obviously will have you on a particular diet plan and medication. But even then, they're going to tell you basically the same thing. So other than the specific things that you may have to avoid due to your condition, your plan is the same as everyone else's. Mostly healthy foods most of the time for the rest of your life. Okay, that is the only diet that actually works. And by work, I mean not temporary. I mean that you will maintain a healthy body for the rest of your life, even if you don't exercise. Now, obviously, to be in optimal health, you will need to exercise. The heart is a muscle, and the only way it gets worked is through activity. So you will have to exercise in order to be healthy, but you will be able to maintain a reasonable weight without exercise. That is doable. That is possible, even if you're over 35, even if you're over 45, like I am. Okay. I've never been on an actual diet. Now, I have experimented with eating plans. I've tried keto, which was fine. Again, I really don't believe in cutting out food groups, but I wanted to experience what it was. I wanted to see what all the hype was about. And it can be very effective at calming your cravings for junk foods and things like this. It was too extreme for me, and I don't need it, but it's fine. As long as it's something you can do for the rest of your life, it'll work. It's not something I wanted to do or for the rest of my life. I probably could, but I don't want to. I really believe in balance and moderation in all things. So that is the basis for my mindset and my philosophy when it comes to weight loss and diet. So everything that I recommend is going to be reasonable. It's going to be focused on health first. Now, if someone is an athlete or they have a very specific goal, then of course that's different. That person would need a specialized plan. But for the person who wants to go from overweight, unhealthy, and out of shape to just healthy and feeling good, that doesn't require any kind of fancy plans. That requires a little bit of discipline, not a lot, a little bit of discipline and consistency. So if you want to know more, check out my blog on my website, which is grownfolksfitness.com. I am a holistic health coach, life coach, and spiritual counselor, so I'm available for appointments. Otherwise, just keep following the videos and keep getting better and better. Peace and love.